Welcome back to Let's Play Deathmatch. So we're in the underground shelter. Let's continue exploring said shelter. I forget where we go from here. So this is a goddamn maze. I think we actually go this way. Section and this is where that voice that was technically his when he just started mumbling stuff to himself, I guess mentions something. I don't know. We're going off at the intersection, and here an outline of a door is flickering faintly in the wall ahead of us. Hey, look at that. What? What? Impossible. Is it another ghost thing? You can't see it. See what? Looks like Hiroo can't see the door. Mumble. And that begins mumbling words that I don't recognize all on its own. Oppose the spiritual with spirit. If you touch it with a tool that honors the gods. The flow of words out of my mouth stops. Touch it with a tool that honors the gods. You represent the spirit fire. So I had to make it out clearly. Is this what half spiritualization is? I touch it all, but it just fits like a wall. Seems the door has no substance. This is very strange. But what do we have? We have a I mean, it's a weird weapon, isn't it? Using it perfectly adopted though. Yeah, flimsy. it is a bit shit if that's how it is. It's like, yeah, it's a one-use only weapon. It's like, maybe you could do some real damage, but then if that's the only weapon you've got, you're kind of screwed after you use it. But this right here, a bell used in ancient Shinto dance rituals. It has 3 sets of small bells, and for every 3, also called a Mika bell. It's not used by shrines. Well, it is, you know, kind of spiritual in nature, so take out the Kagura Suzu bell. It's just touching it, okay? No, have to. Don't words spill from my lips again. It's the priestess's tool. The man displays spiritual power will be destroyed, so touch it silently. Now you can probably maybe foreshadowing of sorts from this. I won't say anything more. Well, I have these questions, but I have no choice but to trust the element. I touch the bells to the door carefully, making sure not to make any noise. And voila! The next instant the door visibly appears. What? What just happened? What did you do? Just felt like it was the right thing. But I stared at the door, sense an alarming presence. According to my own voice, if I can call it that. I suppose that is beyond this door. Found some documents about it in the room while the operating. Might be good to look through those. Just be careful. Yeah, it's basically hinting. It's like, you might want to reread those, you know, be a bit cautious. That place is giving me a bad feeling. Understandably so. There was one that mentioned that. Ah, yeah, this. So it's 200 human dimension Eindor, half spiritualized. Chitwazum's half spiritualized. Of course, mystical forces needed to raise. And the safety valve release code is diamonds. push open the iron door and we head inside. Heads. Get it? Loads of heads. What is this place? On the other side of the door is a large empty area reminiscent of a vault. That is supposed that. Should be, but it's not quite what I expected. Oh, someone's on the ground. Katana? Got rusted army sword. We get a lot of weapons in this chapter. I take what Hiroo picked up. I shine the flashlight around the area. Are these heads of Buddha statues? Doesn't seem like they're being stored. Is this some kind of garbage dump? Just them. Huh. A sound echoes off something heavy moving. Suddenly the room is lit by pale lights. What was that noise? Let's get out of here for now. Tried to open the door to get out, but what? It's locked. What? We've been locked in? No. A cutting coldness invades and envelops my feet. My head snaps up and I see water pouring into the room like a giant waterfall. It's a trap. Water. It's ice cold. A polar bear swim is not something I ever wanted to do. Okay, specific. It quickly rises to our knees and feel like the water underground. Hurry on, open the door, we'll get hypothermia. Live or hypothermia, die. I have to remember. You never fucking about robots. I see near me I'll put his hands. Touch the diamond or have hands. So his eyes and his aura are a Buddha statue. Are you there's different types of Buddhas or I don't know. It's diamond or have hands. There's a heavy shudder and the sound of movement, and the cooling water suddenly starts scooping in down into a brain. Whoa! Survived, but you've been drained. When I open my eyes, all I see is darkness. My old friend. Ugh. I quickly lift my head and rub my eyes. My vision slowly comes back. This is an intersection in the underground shelter. It's like we were drained out with the water and flushed down a pipe. Lucky. I very nearly breathed a sigh of relief. But then I remember Hiroo. That's right, where's Hiroo? Don't need to be so rich. So is you. It's been a while, you sneaky intruder. It's that old man I met in the passageway beneath manholes. Tried to ask him about Hiroo, but my jaw is nearly locked and my voice is gone. Oh, try to talk just yet. Water has come straight from the P mountain range, so it's fairly cold. You must submerge it as if you're near. You were submerging it for near an hour, so you were slurring your words for a while. Relax, your friend's fine. So you got something to go back to, somewhere I mean. I nod as I grow. The old man's face brightens like the sun. Well, that's great. Not that I'm the man of your words to save you or anything. But I am brave, aren't I? Man eyes me, his smile sharp. It seems like he's gonna cannibalize you there, doesn't it? I get in the car, and even though it's the wrong season for it, I turn the heat on full blast. Dry off with towels and the like, but it doesn't stop us shivering for a long time. While this is going on, the old man... It's hot. Can't open a window. He's blatantly fanning himself in front of us. Okay, yes, in a way we owe him our lives, but even so he's killing me. Hanging there, little by little. Hiroo shudders. It freaks you now. There's An honest question, and it probably sucks for him, but we still get to call it so. After driving like that for a while, our teeth finally stopped fitting. The man's name is Banshee Ito. That's how he introduced himself. That obviously isn't his real name. As he sits next to me, Banshee gives off a savory smell like freshly baked bread. It's kind of chilly, or at least it does for a few moments, so I realize it's a scent of dried food. So, Banshee, what were you doing in a place like that? Banshee remains silent, but listen. Oh, feel up to talk next. I'll tell you in exchange for food. I shouldn't be surprised. Life's fun. Wait, that should be my question. What were you two doing down there? It's a long story. Let's summarize everything we know about spirits in the mark until I catch up to when we met him and went branching. That's how it is, huh? He nods vigorously to himself. You really understand any of that? You understand, right? I really understand any of that. Your doubts are reasonable, but Banshee waves a hand and says, of course I do. Who do you think I am? A terrible grudge is mucking up that underground shit. You guys are wrapped up in it. The story suddenly sounds fishy. And he smells fishy too. A grudge. Banshee. You know what happened down there? I said I'm not talking about that yet. I was born into a noble family, so I've always had the ability to see things upstairs. I stake my name Banshee on it. You can trust me. It's a terrible grudge swelling down. You got swept up in it. Much like you got swept up in that, drainage. It's got nothing to base his claims on, but I get the feeling he's on the right track. In that case, noble Lord Banshee, tell us, how do we overcome that whirlpool? Banshee replies with a magnanimous flourish. That should be obvious. Whirlpools always have a center. You gotta find out. Center. That swelling grudge on the Smith thing. Is that what you call it? Well, let's bear it. I'll look at us. Something like that should be left within that swelling grudge. Look for that, I'm sure. He drills off. He grazes up dark roads. Gazes. I'm gonna say grazes. It's like, I'm gonna graze on this dark road. That's how hungry I am. His mouth hanging open, it's like he's run out of batteries. Then, what? What will happen? You can't leave me on a cliffhanger, man. That guy simply goes on forever. We'll bash this. I mean, it seems even more chaotic when you think about it. You can take Diamond with you the first time. And imagine that. It's just like he's already looks sickly, and then he almost gets hypothermia from that. He's just like, oh, this is really not what I should be doing. Oh, that reminds me of you. And she calls out as soon as we enter the garage. Hey, it's just a little symbol of our friendship. The underground shelter key. It's just a key for the underground shelter. I found it when I was swapping in and out from my place. I held on to it. I'll lend it to you for now, Yashiki. He just picked it up. Why is he acting like it's a favor? But I have no reason to refuse him. Thanks, I'll borrow this. Diamond walks up to us. Hey, you came back safely. Were you able to learn? Hiroo butts in before I can speak. Wait just a minute. Don't tell me. You aren't going to believe that old man's story, are you? He's fishy. Wow, that's rude. If you want my opinion, a snotty punk like you should be trusted even less. Of course, Yashiki. You believe me, right? Well, we place all our trust in the Specsavers case. The Specsavers logo, non-Specsavers logo, or I don't know. Well, I guess we trust him. Of course. Ha ha ha, that's my good pal Yashiki. We only just met. Hang on, you feeling okay in the head? Anyway, changing the subject. Good grief, can we just move on from talking about this? Banshee, you're hungry, right? Dining room should have something. Whoa, food! Banshee bolts out of the garage and vanishes into the mansion. Yeah, I feel like I keep alternating between two pronunciations of that word. Like sometimes I'm like garage and garage. That one gives me an exaggerated look. Yashiki, it seems you've got another troublemaker on your hands. To appease the starving Banshee, I offer him some cup noodles and sweet buns. Yep, known with hunger, he greedily begins scarfing it down like a starving dog. That was enough for 10 people. He devours all of it, and I'm reminded of the high-power vacuum cleaner.
Excellent!
I haven't been this full in forever. You know, the interesting thing about Banshee is, going back to in the previous part where I mentioned character's height and age, I think he's apparently I think he might be 60 something, I don't know. Which is weird that they actually have that listed because he's a mysterious character. You don't really get to know fully what his backstory is. I mean, granted, that's the same with most characters, but he seems a lot more mysterious. But he's apparently 5'5", so he is taller than Hiroo. But he doesn't look like he would at the same time, does he? Because of the character portraits. I mean, look, did you see that transition right there? You think like, oh yeah, she's probably taller, he's probably really short. I mean, he's not really tall because he's just 5'5", but Hiroo is 5'1", so she's even shorter. Good for you. Answer our questions. What were you doing then? Well, that's an easy one. Because it's my home. What? Been living there ever since I found it 10 years ago. It's not too shabby a place. Keeps me out of the rain and no damn rats messing with me. Though it gets a mite cold in the winter. I don't know how to respond to that. Hiroo and Diamond seem to be the same. Which is paradise for me because no one knows about it. Until a weirdo shut up 6 months ago. Some woman doused in perfume. It was winter and I don't like stirring up trouble, so I just stayed. That must have been Kagura. I nod, this is my fault as well. That was a month ago. I figured she must have up and left, so I went back. Now there's something stranger. Which was... Damn fucking Buddha statue. I know I'm pretty out there, but even I was shocked by that. I even got this weird scar. And she removes the scarf, revealing the mark on his neck. You may not believe this, but that statue gave you that scar. I figured it was the cannon soldier after all. Cannon soldier? How'd you know that name? Some document I saw had. It was an old plan to make a Buddha statue move with supernatural powers. A heavily Buddha project method. Are you nuts? Spirit powers making something move? That's insane. No, Hiroo, calm down. So those documents that you found are still around. No, I burnt them for wall. I had delicious roasted potatoes. How could you? Maybe take your own advice, don't die. Our measure of common sense seems to be rather different than this strange old man's. It's fine, my noggin works different from most people's. I got it all memorized. It's kind of weird because, you know, the mark also affects memory as well. So. It's like he'll be able to remember bits and pieces, stuff like that, but like his memory's still kind of fogged over from the mark. I got it all memorized. Say, just tell us. You need to know about that project. The Heavenly Buddha project was a pet project of some general at the end of the war. So they built that shelter place. The 13th Army Engineering Line. When the cannon soldier thing, they did tests on Buddha statues. They were brought from some shrine or something somewhere. That must be his shrine. They did a bunch of stuff to infuse the statue with spiritual power. There was a monk from Team Mountain, spiritual treasures with all over there. And nobody fought anything in actual conflicts. The project was just an excuse to keep that fanatical general busy. At least it was supposed to be. But one day the statue started moving. Went berserk at the lab and went crazy on the television. Bloodstains and old corpses in the shelter of fallen victims. Some people survived, but they had red bite-like marks on them. The thing went and wrecked the place dead, and it stopped, and then moved again. No one knows why it even triggered it. That's about everything it said. Her face says it all, doesn't it? Hiroo and Daimon are as white as a sheet. I mean, Daimon is as white as a sheet regardless. I probably am too. It's a hard story to believe. He has no reason to lie to us. I think he speaks the truth. What? Are you kidding me? A statue going around killing people and cursing them? Impossible. You know what? What is impossible in Japanese anyway? Impossible. Impossible adjective. Muri. I don't know how it'd be used in the context of this. I like how. I mean, I find it confusing because in the dictionary it has it as adjective Murina. But then it gives you an example as it's impossible to finish all that work today, which. That sentence would be Kyo sono shigo to zenbu suro koto wa muri desu. Okay, it does have that. I was just like, yeah, this student doesn't even use the word, but that's right. So I'm an idiot, so it's muri. That is impossible. Then how do you explain the mark on his back? Logic would dictate that the moving statue is cannot. The dormant soldier suddenly starts moving after 50 minutes. That might be the cause of my computer's errors. Well, you flipped that down. Both of your grandpas got the mark from the cat soldier. When the soldier stopped moving, their marks. But when it started up again, you got them because you're the sentence. That's true. The children inherit the parents' face. What about any of the other survivors? Did their descendants also get the mark? Can you imagine how confusing having to resolve this issue? They got this mark, they're all worried, and then something just disappears like, it was nothing after all. Or, you know, they just die, and nobody figures out what caused their death. Hiroo can't seem to muster up any kind of counter-argument. She's in shock. I want to ask you something about that. You say the cannon soldier stopped moving 50 minutes ago. But why? I think it was some spiritual person used our thingamajig to do something. You have no idea. It's the most important part. Fight to the match. It's not that easy, son. Mark might have made me forget. Taking this age into account, it's most likely it just might slip his mind. Now, he does seem to be one of those kind of people that has a good memory, though. So, might actually in fact be the mark taking its effect on that. Seems we must defeat the cannon soldier with 3 of our marks. We'll have to figure it out on our own. If you can't feel reliable. You seem a brother, Yashiki. You'll be reliable. I don't have spiritual powers for you. Oh shit, you have at least some spiritual powers. But you've already faced down 4 different spirits, haven't you? A noble person wouldn't survive. Got a point, now that he says it against his rights. I have been hearing the spirit's voice a few times. I've been reading the missions. Even caught myself unconsciously talking when we were down in the shelter. So, what are you folks gonna do now? Investigate statues, investigate the project, well, the soldier. Let's investigate the soldier and the shelter. We'll need to do something about that to get rid of your mouse. If I'm decided for someone on the project, then my mouth is sweet. Unless we're going back in then. Hiroo is still kind of sulking, but she's at least recovered from the shock. We all share the secrets. It's too late to let that try to come in. Yep, you should find it. The heart of everything that's causing the guts. We need that to stop the camp soldier. That's what my guts say. What are you going to do then? For now, so I was gonna go take a nap and have a pot. I'll sit and wait until he fails to do something about that. Wait just a minute, you old fart. Didn't we just say that it's too late to run away? Okay, I get it. Well, you folks did feed me, so I guess I can have it. New infos. Not just new info, we got a new party. It feels like Diamond feels like the most pointless character in some ways here. Because they introduce him, but then they introduce another character. So it feels like he doesn't really get much use. Because I'm going to go with Banshee, and I'm going with Banshee specifically for a reason.
Excellent!
Because excellent! No, it's not just that. He has high spirit power, not as much intelligence, not as much power or dexterity, but he's got more spirit power. Not the most of anyone, but he's got some spirit power. Banshee Ito, a cookie old man living in the underground shelter. He's read for nearly all the notable documents left there and is extremely knowledgeable at them. That's why I'm taking him with me. He claims to have spiritual powers and truly does seem to see spiritual things. Those eyes show that he has seen things that should not have been seen. Oh man, there's a lot of notes to go over. Research lab looks more like an operating room. It stated in suggests that inhumane experiments took place there here. I'd really like to leave this place, but we need to thoroughly check for any documents and tools left behind. Hatred clogs the air here, making it more dangerous than any of the other places we've been. It could be attacked at any time. We need to be prepared. We find documents on a Kagura Suzu bell in the cabinet. The file says something odd. Specialized door release of secret object. Kagura Suzu bell is probably considered one. Also learn the safety valve release password is diamond. Followed by a thin blonde hair found between the pages. And I wonder if the foreigner is here. Now I find interesting is because I'm not really checking the spirit file after getting each bit of new information. It's obviously there to help, guide you with these kind of hints. It's like, for example, the Kagura Suzu bell. I mean, I already knew what it was used for. But that's basically gives you the extra hints. Like, hint, it'll probably be considered a sacred object. Hint. I hear a voice saying, check what's both of that. But it's not the usual whisper in my ear, it's my own voice. I have no control over my mouth, so it moves on its own. All the fragments of my memory causing this keeps going. It's probably behind the left wall. So weird. It's like I have some special power. There's a passage beyond the intersection that looks like a dead end. It flickers in and out. For whatever reason, I'm the only one who can see it. I can't believe this. Why would we have some sort of spiritual power? Who's the spiritual with the spiritual? So do I have to use a secret object? Or maybe secret objects are effective against spiritual beings. Better remember that. Yes, it makes sense. Because we didn't have Banshee with us, if we did have Banshee that was at that moment, he could probably see the door as well. Because he has high spiritual power. But Diamond, we haven't really checked his spiritual power, but it's very low. He has high intelligence and everything else is low, as you would expect. And Hiroo doesn't have high spiritual power either, of course. Somehow we make it out of the freezing water trap and dispose all of that and return to the mansion with a strange homeless man calling himself Banshee Hiroo. He's been living in that shelter and he has surprising info. He says he saw the car going in and out, and then saw a Buddha statue walking around. Pieces of some research documents he had to burn for warmth. He details something called the Heavenly Buddha Project, some mumbo-jumbo about using spiritual power to make a statue into a weapon. He gathered numerous sacred objects, including a massive number of statues in the shrine in Hate City. There was no way it'd work. The war was almost over, but it moved. The spirit weapon named the cannon soldier moved. This me, I just kind of feel a bit like, the Elder Scrolls lore with the Dwemer, with that big statue thing that they made, and then it just mysteriously disappeared. Soldier went berserk in the shelter and killed people. Those who escaped had a scar, most likely the mark. What's alarming though, or hard to believe, is the walking statue Banshee saw. And that's when he got the mark, which means the cannon soldier is moving once more. That might be why Daimon and Hiroo, descendants of those involved, now have the mark smell. It's unclear what made the soldier move past the present, but we have to find a way to stop it. Maybe there are records of how they stomped it 50 years ago, and she doesn't remember. And that some person with spiritual power used something to do something. I guess all we can do is search the shelter, trust both my past and present self. Buried in here. So with Banshee, pitch black stains. Oh, that's a place for the war propaganda posters. We got some interesting slogans. Posters. What the hell are you talking about? If you squint real hard, you can see them. See what? The words on the posters that were put up here forever ago, of course. I told you earlier I was born into a family John full of space. So I'm good at seeing fish stuff. I'm serious. I can do a test for you, yeah. Ask me anytime. That's what I was alluding to. It was in the previous part when I came across that, wasn't it? But yeah, you need Banshee with you to be able to read what was originally there. Banshee laughs. But can I really believe him? Yes. And he stands in front of the lock stains. Luxury is the enemy. Simple as best. That's a real famous one. Back when the war had just started. I have no idea where I'm going, honestly. You've been for me, right? Yeah. Wait. Didn't one of these have a door? Well, I guess they both had a door. I think. Okay, they didn't. Never mind. See what I mean about this place though? It's like a damn maze. It's a fake iron door. Skill is rustling. Good opening. I had to do what you do. Let's not go through that just yet though. So what's on the opposite side? Is that the one I read already? Yeah. Luxury is the enemy. There's people with all their fancy material things or the enemy. I don't know. 100 million audible deaths. The lands of the gods is indestructible. That's what it says. Yeah, that's from the end of the war. They're pretty desperate, son. So, thick iron door. Yes, open it. Oh, there's a single out-of-place Buddha statue. His head has been cut off. It's a Buddha statue. The headless Buddha statue is covered in dust. The talisman stuck to the neck as if it's taking the place of the missing head. Spiritual power! Soul power. Light bulbs covered in dust is obvious no one has touched it in a long time. Why is such an old bulb still working? Wish they were made to last. There's a thin layer of dust on it, but it looks very intact. Oh boy. Well, that's ominous. Boxing factory of carelessly tossed wooden statue heads. One is not like the other. Well, two is not like... No, three! There's quite a few, skeletal remains. And... I mean, maybe that's a statue, but that kind of looks like a dead person's head. Boxing factory, yeah, right. A real, actual head can clearly be seen among them. It's dry and mummified, but done by the long hair. It's probably female. You can't just assume just because it's got long hair that it's female. It's likely one of the experiment's victims. So this is where it was. Let's take it and bring it to its own. I thought you'd say that. Oh, just kidding, haha. I feel Banshee's gaze on me. What was that all about? I can only carry one head, so I need to choose which one to take. Well, technically, if you got Banshee to carry one, you'd be able to take two. But, you can only take one. Merciful, grieving, angry woman's head. It sounds like I'm just describing one head there. But the human heads. So we're carrying around a severed heads. Lovely. Ooh, spooky. Where am I going? Been pretty bad, no time to go through here. Nothing to read here. I can hear a victory chant coming from the other side of the universe. I shrug and keep moving forward. Take one step forward and... an electric current runs through my body and my muscles. Live or die. Did you bring Banshee along and read those old posters? Because if not, you'll just have to... Yes, you Leopard, what are you doing there? You've got time to be looking around and you'll recite this piece's slogan at once. Cheer for the final battle in the homeland. 100 million audible deaths, I think. That's the slogan. It was. Once more, declare resolve to strike back with arrows. We won't lose even if our country is reduced to ashes. Show your determination. It seems like I mean, it's like from what bits I've, heard from World War II on the Japanese side. It's crazy, really, how they. I can't remember what it was. This one when they were like, there was a lot of propaganda used. It's like, oh no, don't be captured by the enemy. They'll do all kinds of horrible things to you. So it's better to, take your own life than, surrender. Or, surrender being like is completely dishonorable. It's better to just die by your own hands and surrender to the enemy. They're very kind of strict with that. It's sort of crazy. It's just like, oh yeah, even if the whole country is completely destroyed, we will not stand down. It's like, then you wouldn't even have anything left. But whatever. Show your determination. The land of the gods is indestructible. Our army has fought bravely from the southern tropics to the northern Alps, but the tide still hasn't turned in our favor. What do you think? Can we win this crusade? Well, of course, if the kamikaze wind blows, we didn't really see all of the posters, but that's kind of fitting because I mean they use a lot of kamikazes in their pilots. Oh, pretty promising for our new recruits. Keep a good eye on this squad. Farewell. Goodbye. No noise is coming from this pipe. I guess I know water's flowing through this. There are numerous footprints in the blood stain on the floor. These human footprints or... Oh boy. Something's written on the wall in blood. It says hi. Eisen, perhaps? Eisen the Sora? Human bones, it looks like the person was crushed to death. Yeesh. Stick iron door. Oh boy, it's this room. It's the operating room in the southern section. And on its table is... How about now, dead body? Headless corpse is lying there. And we just haven't picked up a severed head, so there's a chainsaw somewhere. Missing not only its head, but also a lot of its limbs. What was this? A headless corpse, and by what remains of its clothing, it was like a woman. Wait, what? What now by me again? And that just looks like a lab coat. How could you assume that? It's a well-built metal cabinet, what's inside should be intact. But it's locked. The scuffs slide on top of the operating table. The head I picked up earlier might fit in this corpse. Should I try attaching the head? Yes. Try attaching the human head. If the human head fits the severed neck perfectly. This part might end up going over an hour because of this now. Well, over 50 minutes. Real suddenly the sorts. A horrific scene appears before my eyes. We don't really get many CGs that are kind of like fucked up looking like this. We don't really get much CGs in general. Yeah, a horrific scene appears before my eyes. This is a woman on the operating table. Some kind of experiment is being performed on her. I must be seeing the past. The sign triggers a change in views. Men in a lab. Men in a? Shouldn't just be men in lab coats holding surgical tools. They don't look like they're alive. Ghosts of the researchers seem to be stuck forever in the nightmare of the past. I can hear the man whisper from my left side. Hey, she's awake. Don't worry, she'll be dead soon anyway. True enough. And something else is worse. This time it's a cold whisper from my right. You can hear me, can't you? Don't be afraid. Soon. The voice on my right cuts off and I can hear the man in the lab coat again. Gotta remember this detail here. Live or die. Hey woman, which of these tools do you want us to use to cut your neck? This is it for you, so we'll let you decide. That's a bit fucked up, isn't it? Was it the chisel? Maybe? Good answer, you're pretty smart. Unfortunately, you'll soon be saying goodbye to that clever head of yours. It's valuable material, look at it, that's nice. Safe? I mean, as safe as, you know, being decapitated by a chisel. Shut up, you're just like a pig. This is why I hate having you. You should have seen Miss Zoo. She was literally part pig. She had a pig head. Be patient, we'll finally find a clue. Not yet, pigs. Now give you power. The whisper from my right falls silence. You had to have a dream breaker from our usual method. Oh so well. Hey, pig, do you understand? You know the correct combination of head and body for the heavenly Buddha. Was it a female head, male body? I think it was. That document mentioned it, I think. Precisely, and that's why we need your heads. I think it was a document. Gladly offer it up for the sake of our beloved country. You say you use the chisel, not a freaking chainsaw or a drill. Often it's a soul precious. Refrigeration is all up to the quality of it. But there are only so many valuable available methods. This is all the equipment we have. Enter the freezer. The voices on the left cut out. A determined voice echoes in my right. Focus on the right ear. Hate this whole world tear to pieces. The power to do that. I'll give it all to you in the place where you hear me now. Hate them, destroy them, understand? Well, I think yes or yes. Safe. Can you imagine if you had to specifically choose which yes? Good. Destroy them. When I return to my senses, I am standing beside the operating table. It's that. It makes you wonder, I mean, what would happen if you failed that? I think I might have failed before. You know, what kind of game over would you get from that? But then something slides out of the hand of the corpse on the table. Got a small key. Get your sword. No, important. The voice that kept speaking from my right side. Who was that? Yeah, looks so great there. Need to see something like that? Yeah, actually. I explained to Banshee what I just saw. All this tragedy happened to you in the past. It's possible that whatever triggered it might be whoever that voice was. Ah, interesting. Can't say I'm surprised something like that happened here. So, what's that have to do with our minds? Well, I'm not sure about that part, but Banshee's right. This isn't helping us accomplish our goal. We need to search for whatever gave birth to it. Let's keep looking. The small key I just found might belong to the captain. Turn my attention to the mark on my wrist. He's incumbent. Glance over at Banshee. They don't seem to be acting differently at all. Death should be slowly closing in on this place. Seems like we still have some time. What's important right now is making sure we survive. New info. Yeah, we're at the 50-minute mark now. But I gotta unlock this here cabinet first. Open the door using some more key. Inside is an old gun and research records. Suddenly berserk, severe damage, some crew chanting, complete insanity. Only those who made themselves deaf managed to remain sane. Not spiritualized like disposal vet, need sacred object attack. Destroy human head, the heart of all this. Need destroy human head. That's all it says. Blanks and records. Hopefully I remember where I left off next time I record. Bloody hell, confusing. Now at least when we get the good ending, it's like you'll be able to tell the save part. Well, actually, no. Well, yeah, I'll have to actually split it when we get to chapter 6. Because getting the bad ending to chapter 5 is basically the bad ending for the game in general. But chapter 6 also has a bad ending, so I'll have to split the part there as well. With the save files. But whatever, I shall see you next time, viewers. See you next time.